What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back from Norwich yesterday in our last game of 2019 and the last game of the decade. We have drawn 2-2 up at Carrow Road. This is our
bottom side.
Yeah, this is our player ratings video. Let's get straight into it. Paolo Gazzaniga, we gave a 5. I thought he could have done better with that goal, kind of bounced over his hand. There were some few shaky moments as well, but apart from that, I think he wasn't tested that much. I think he made one good save, throughout the whole game. But apart from that, not really tested.
Yeah, I think that's the second time he struggled. Not just it's not the first time he struggled to get down low to a low shot like that. That's been near his body. I think back to that Man United game where he struggled with that Rashford shot as well. I'm starting to question him a bit of whether he's definitely going to be our number one in the long term. I think he's clearly an able deputy as number 2, but given the run in games, he seems to be making a few mistakes, doesn't he? Let's look at the Chelsea one as well. So yeah, these mistakes are definitely creeping into his game a lot more, and he's just
not really recently, isn't it?
I mean, look, he's clearly a decent shot stopper, but whether he has that mindset to go the whole game and not make any positional mistakes, or even when Pukki scored that second goal, I thought he might be even to do better with that one as well. So only a 5 for Gazza, unfortunately for him. Aurier, we gave him a 2. A lot of people made him after yesterday. He clearly gave an awful performance, but a lot of people on Twitter were saying that other fans were scapegoating him, saying that everyone's just blaming Aurier for everything when it's not always his fault. And when we come to the own goal, you could probably argue he was a bit unlucky with that, because he did come in quickly. He might have been able to do a bit better, but it wasn't totally his fault. But I'm sorry, his performance was shocking the whole game. Every cross went into the stands or straight into the keeper's hands. He could have given away a second goal because he gave the ball away when Pukki went on to score. He was defensively, it wasn't too bad, but going forward, we had the majority of the ball, especially in the second half when Norwich didn't have one shot. He had a lot of opportunities to get balls in the box, and he just wasn't able to do so with any sort of quality. And it's getting extremely frustrating, especially when he's having these lapses of concentration at the back as well. It was one of those displays where he was caught out time after time at the back, but it just again showed his lack of quality going forward.
Yeah, I thought at times he did defend all right, but it was going forward that was a problem for me. Like you said, getting crosses in the box. I think every single cross he put in, because he was getting in nice positions to cross the ball.
Yeah, he was.
Every time he crossed the ball, it was just shocking. And then obviously, like you said, with the VAR decision goal, he was completely at fault for that, and it should have been a goal. So you can say he was at fault for 2 goals, really, the own goal and the VAR decision.
He was unlucky with the own goal.
Yeah, exactly. But you've got to give him a bit of kind of leeway for that own goal, because he didn't really know too much about it.
Yeah.
Which moves on to Juan Foyth. We gave him a 3. Really disappointing for me, because I was one that calling for Juan Foyth. We both were calling for Juan Foyth to be in the team. I think both of us are big fans of Juan Foyth, and yesterday was a really bad display. I think he gave away the first goal, kind of slipping or just whatever happened, just losing the ball, and then they went up and scored straight away. And then apart from that, I felt that he did put in some good defensive challenges, but all in all, I thought he was getting run ragged really by the Norwich attack.
He got bullied quite a bit, and especially in this kind of game where against Norwich you're expecting to dominate possession, with a player like Foyth in your team who is very composed on the ball. He likes to have the ball to his feet.
There were moments of nice play from Foyth.
And you think this could be a game that suits him, but it didn't. It didn't suit him. He got bullied by the strikers, and the first goal, he had a bad touch. He overhit his touch, and he ended up overrunning the ball, and he tried to make a tackle to make up for it. He couldn't make the tackle, and he ended up losing a goal for it. And I thought time after time, when the ball was high in the air, when they put him under pressure like that, he didn't have too many answers. He kept getting bullied off the ball. And apart from a few nice defensive actions in the first half, I thought it was rightly brought off.
It reminded me a bit of his performance at Wolves away last season, where I thought he had a shocking game. But, he's young, he needs to learn, and he needs to bulk up as well.
Yeah. Next up, Toby Alderweireld, we gave him a 6. Probably our best defender on the day, but he
wasn't great though, was he?
Seeing as all our other defenders how bad they were, it's not saying much. He had this for the second goal. I thought he was he got a challenge in. You could probably say it was unlucky, but he got caught out of position in the first place, so that was a bad mark on his performance. But he had a few nice moments on the ball. He played a lovely ball over the top to Harry Kane, who probably should have scored in the first half, and he was probably our most accomplished defender.
Yeah. Moving on to Jan Vertonghen, we gave him a 5. Wasn't great from Yamatongan. 2 games in a row now, I thought he's put in a bit of a poor performance. He's a bit too slow, lets people get in behind him a bit too easily, not strong enough. I don't know what to say. Literally, I don't know what to say.
Off at half time.
Exactly, he got hauled off at half time, so that just says it all, really.
Yeah, there was a few moments where he was like just misjudging things. I think he was partly at fault for the second goal as well, because that ball over the top he should be cutting out, and he just let Pukki take it down and score, which I'm not really sure why. He was just ball watching.
Do you think Yamatongan's passed it?
He's clearly declining. I don't know if maybe the left back rolls too much for him. I'm not sure. I don't know. It's a question mark, because in the last 2 games he's clearly declining. He's clearly not as good as he was, and you don't really see those marauding runs forward anymore. Like that's the trademark of Jan's play. He likes to play the ball into feet nowadays, but
so maybe that's why we're not kind of rushing to get his contract sorted, kind of thing.
Maybe we'll have to wait and see what Jose thinks. He's at 32, so he's at that age where you start to think players could get over the hill. But I'm hoping he has a few years left in it, because the last couple of years he's been great, but yeah, this year's really starting to show. Next up, Tongi Ndombele. We gave him an 8. Really, really encouraging performance from Tongi, especially given all the fitness issues he's apparently had, and he didn't want to play last game because of issues that he said he didn't want to reoccur, past muscle issues, but he really took the game by the scruff of the neck, especially in the second half, when he was given clearly more freedom in the centre of the park to stride past players, to play in between the lines, play thread of the needle passes into attacking players. And when he's on song, he's so hard to stop. He was actually such a joy to watch when he's in this kind of mood. And I thought first half he wasn't as good as he was in the second half, but second half he really dominated that central midfield. And Norwich players couldn't get near him, and it was good to see a player with such confidence as he has, because it gave the other players like Sanchez and Toby, it gave them an outlet. It gave them a player to find in the middle of the park. And you always knew when Tongi gets the ball, he's going to get it. He's going to go forward and he's going to find a man. He did it pretty much every time.
Yeah, and I thought he was pretty much doing it on his own as well. He was like our only centre midfielder, really, and he was back picking up that ball in the second half, and it looked like, sometimes he had crowds of players, 2 or 3 players around him, and somehow wriggled his way through, really good skill and endeavour to get past these kind of players. But unfortunately, it couldn't will us on to win the game. But he was definitely our best player, I thought.
I think he was a big part of the reason why Norwich had no shots in that second half, because he was able to dominate possession so much and keep things ticking and keep things going forward, that Norwich weren't able to gain any sort of control on the match. And he was shutting things down whenever Norwich got on the ball. So it was such a good display. We
need to build our team around him. He is the best centre midfielder.
And he lasted 90 minutes. And he actually, not only did he last 90 minutes, he actually got better as the game grew on.
Exactly.
So that's a really encouraging sign.
Exactly, which moves us on to Christian Eriksen. We gave him an 8. The best performance from him we've seen in a while, First time he started in a while, to be honest. But I thought everything we did attacking was basically coming through him. I thought he was the kind of general, not midfield general, but that creative spark that we've been missing for so long, And I thought in the first half we had 3 or 4 chances where we could have scored, which a few of them came from him. In the second half, I think he was the one kind of dictating the play, and also that lovely free kick that he scored.
Oh, beautiful.
The only down mark I would say is that corner in the last minute of the game.
Yeah, we really need a good corner to try and win the game if he hits into the first man. But yeah, what a free kick to curl into that top corner with such whip as he used to. Eriksen of old, I haven't seen one of those in a while, one of those beautiful free kicks.
When's the last time he scored? Juventus?
No, he scored one at the end of last season against Everton, but it wasn't the same as this one. I thought his passing is when he switches to play to Sessegnon or Oreo, absolutely fantastic as well. Pinpoint. He played as well one lovely ball over the top to Kane in the second half, which Kane unfortunately couldn't make the most of. Very similar to the one he played against Aurier against Brighton last game. I thought he was absolutely fantastic for the majority of the game, and if he can carry on this vein of form until he leaves, then it will be good for us to have that quality in the lineup, because he's clearly showing what we're going to miss when he leaves.
Yeah, and as well, if he can put these performances from now until he leaves, instead of the ill feeling that he got from the fans maybe in the past couple of weeks and the back end of last season, you put your hands up and you say thank you very much for your service to Tottenham Hotspur, but bye-bye.
Exactly, and you saw the fans singing his name yesterday. They clearly, all they want is good performances from him, and even though we all know he wants to leave, we don't hold that against him too much. It's just how he was going about it. Yeah. But if he goes about it in this way, then we've got no problem.
Exactly.
Next up, Giovanni Lo Celso, we gave him a 5. A bit of an anonymous display from him. I thought he had some nice moments in and around the attacking third. He got off a couple weak shots off in good positions, and he played a really lovely lob through ball over to Dele Alli, who scored, but he was offside. That was a nice moment. But other than that, he did struggle a bit to get in the game. A few times he was getting out muscled from the Norwich players, showed his weakness on the ball occasionally, and although there were a few encouraging signs, not enough just yet to show that he could really step up in Eriksen's absence when he leaves.
Yeah, I thought, like you said, yeah, you're right that there were a few encouraging signs, but I felt that every encouraging sign was kind of followed by a bad mistake from him or running into trouble or something like that. So, look, I think Lo Celso came on and changed the game in the last game against Brighton, but I think yesterday he just wasn't good enough, and we need to see more from him. But
his second start in the Premier League.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say that next. Yeah. Like, you've got to give the guy time because he's coming into a new league, but the games are coming thick and fast at the moment.
Exactly. So he just needs that more game time.
Moving on to Dele Alli, we gave him a 5. I thought it was a bit of an anonymous display from him. Obviously, he got that goal that was offside, but apart from that, it was more kind of lazy flicks and tricks that weren't really coming off all game, and apart from that, pretty anonymous, to be honest.
Yeah, for a bit of a frustrating display from Dele. Although I attributed it to Lamela in the vlog, but it wasn't Lamela, it was Dele Alli who set up Kane's got a chance for the penalty,
right.
Which was a very good run from him, and it was a good moment. Other than that, he also had a goal, as I just mentioned, which was ruled out from offside, which was a lovely finish. But again, yeah, those flicks that just weren't coming off was another frustrating display. And on another day, that got that chance, he would have been onside and he would have come away with a goal. But on this day, his tricks didn't come off, and it was an anonymous display from him.
Yeah.
Next up, Ryan Sessegnon, we gave him a 4. Started the day off as the left wing back. And he was really struggling, in my opinion, really struggled to get into the game. Had no confidence to take on his man, wasn't able to get in the final third. And I thought he left Jan a bit exposed at times in that position. But I did think in the second half he improved. I did think once he moved to actual left back, I'm not sure if it's because of the position or maybe talking to from Jose, but he definitely had played better, in my opinion, defensively, especially when given more defensive responsibility.
I think really fine margins, though, really.
I thought he played better. I thought he in that left back position, he was playing long balls, which were fairly accurate. The only thing I would say is going forward again, just like in the first half, not enough confidence, not enough quality when crossing the ball in as well, which was quite worrying. And he, for a player who's very fast and who prides himself on being a good dribbler, just wasn't able to take on his man ever and get in behind that Norwich defence, being that proper attacking fullback that we need. But encouraging signs defensively, at least.
Yeah, the only comment I was going to make, which you just made, was that he doesn't take on his man enough. He seems like to lack the confidence to take on his man for someone so quick as well, which is interesting. And I think he needs to bulk up a bit. I think he's a bit too lightweight. And I think when he and someone like Foyth bulk up, I think they'll be good players for us. But at the moment, I think they're just not there yet.
Yeah, hopefully Jose can get into him because he clearly has quality.
Yeah, moving on to Harry Kane, we gave him a 7. Obviously, brilliant penalty. Nerves was still from Harry Kane yet again. Probably the best penalty take we've ever seen at Tottenham Hotspur, you know what I mean? But apart from that, I thought it was a good all-action display from Harry Kane, dropping deep, helping the midfield out a bit, hassling their defenders. But all in all, he didn't really do that much, did he?
I thought he had a decent game. He will probably be disappointed in himself that in the first half he didn't at least get a goal.
He should have popped away at least 1 or 2 of those chances.
But he laid one off for Dele Alli, who skied it, who probably should have been burying that chance. Well, it was a good play from Harry Kane.
He looks a lot better, Kane, under Mourinho than he did under Poch this season.
He does look a lot sharper. He just looks more on it, doesn't he?
He looks like a man on a mission, putting himself about properly, that kind of thing. Like the whole Drogba kind of thing that Mourinho did with him.
And I did think as well, for the penalty, I thought he did extremely well to get that little flick in behind the defender and draw the foul. I thought that was an expert piece of play as well, which is underrated. But yeah, obviously we didn't do enough to win the game. He nearly also set up Dele Alli right at the end when he flashed it across the face of goal. Dele was just an inch away, just couldn't get to it. So I thought on another day he could have got a goal and assist or whatnot, but only end up with the goal today.
Yeah, and if he puts away one of those chances in the first half, you're talking about a completely different game.
If we go 1-0 up, different game.
Completely different game. So Harry's got to take some of the blame for that.
Yeah. Jose made a couple substitutions at half time. He brought on Lucas Moura for Foyth. So Sanchez came on for Foyth and Lucas Moura came on. Who did he come on for? For Jan Vertonghen. Yeah, with two defenders off.
Yeah, Foyth and Vertonghen went off and Lucas and Sanchez came on. I thought Lucas was good when he came on. I think Lucas is really playing well under Mourinho. I think he gets the ball to feet, he tries to beat players, he tries to make stuff happen the whole time.
I was a bit disappointed when he came on.
I thought he played well. He's just that I thought he was better than Lo Celso anyway. And I thought that the quality at the end of it is not always there, but I think the intent and the endeavour and the persistence that he always shows is good.
Yeah, he had some nice dribbling moments, but I thought his passing, every time he passed, he just found a yellow shirt, which was really frustrating.
Yeah, that's true.
He just couldn't find a man. And he had a couple of opportunities to get a shot from 25 yards, or I think he's got a decent shot on him, but he didn't pull the trigger, tried to pass it in between the lines, which is not a bad approach, but he just couldn't find a blue shirt at all. But Sanchez played quite well when he came on. I thought he shored things up. He made sure any kind of Norwich attack was swept away. And I think he was another part of the reason why Norwich had no shots in their second half, even though they scored somehow, they had no shots.
Sanchez just provided that kind of calming presence in defence after like that Foyth whirlwind in the first half kind of thing. But
he kept it simple in possession. He got the ball, passed it to Ndombele, and he was able to strike forward.
I've been very happy with Sanchez in this game and the last game, so hopefully that continues. In terms of Jose, the starting lineup, when we all saw the starting lineup, everyone was happy with that starting lineup.
Yeah.
Everyone was happy Foyth was playing. Everyone was happy Sessegnon on the left, Lo Celso, Eriksson, all these kind of creative players.
And I think, you know what, sorry, Don, keep going.
Yeah, and I felt that we came out the blocks actually well, and we could have been 2 or 3-0 up, or at least 1-0 up, just before they scored.
Norwich,
but at the end of the day, Norwich get that first goal, and then we went back into our shells.
Yeah, but I think you can't. I wouldn't blame Jose for how he starts to set up the team. I don't think he set up in the wrong way, and I think it was pretty much all we were calling for before the game. We got in this game in terms of more technical players in the lineup, not always trying to go over the top, trying to play through teams. And I think that approach, by and large, worked for us. It was just stupid individual mistakes at the back that cost us big time. And if it wasn't for these individual errors, we would have easily won this game by 2 goals, I reckon. And especially in that second half, I thought he brought Moura on and Sessegnon went to a 4 at the back. And I thought we were miles the better team. Norwich didn't even have a shot. The only shot they had was a stupid own goal, which was conceded by our own making. So I think in that second half we should have easily gone on to win the game if it wasn't for individual errors. And I thought how we played by and large was positive, and I quite enjoyed watching us play for the most part. It's just really annoying that these individual errors keep costing us, and we couldn't get over the line because of that.
Yeah, well, the point is that we couldn't score from open play. We scored a penalty and a free kick. Like I said before, if 1 or 2 of those chances...
Not like we didn't create from open play.
No, I'm saying if 1 or 2 of those chances go in the first half, then it's a complete different game, and I think we walked this game, to be honest. And Jose can't account for missing easy chances.
And individual mistakes.
So every goal we conceded was a defensive calamity, absolute calamity. And the chances we missed were players like Harry Kane and Dele Alli who put chances away for fun, missing chances. So Jose can't really account for that.
But the system worked, I think.
So I think you can't really mark Jose down for this game, to be honest. And I think in the second half he saw where we were lacking. He saw Foyth was lacking. He saw Jan Vertonghen wasn't up to scratch, and he took them both off, and we were much better defensively in that second half. But we just couldn't get that win.
He's got to sort out these first half issues.
Yeah, but I don't get why we look so bad in the first half every game. It doesn't make sense. We need to shape it up big time in that first half, because last 2 games in the second half we've looked really good.
We have, and it's actually been quite enjoyable to watch. Good football being played on the ground. It's not just over the top all the time, and that's what we like to see. But anyway.
All right. Well, happy New Year to all of you. This is the last player ratings video of the year, of the decade. We move on to Southampton away on New Year's Day, so check out all the content revolving that game. Like, subscribe and comment below if you like our content. And as always,
come on you Spurs!